Stay unique. Remedy review. Stay unique. Remedy review. Welcome everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I am Noah Flores with Sac State Unique, here with Remedy Review. This is Alex Severson and Josh Haynes. Welcome, guys.
Hi there. What's cracking, Noah?
Hey, my day just started, and I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready. How are you guys?
I need more coffee.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
But I think that's sort of just the life of a sound guy forever.
Right.
In classic tradition with musicians, we work weekends. You know, all of our shows are usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So most of the week spent promo, prepping, talking about random new pieces of gear that have existed on the internet. Who has you? So easy stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, let's get into this. So, you guys have a lot of hats. And I'm not just talking about Josh's. It's you guys do lights, camera, sound, streaming, booking, promotion, some community work. So what do you guys want to start off talking about? Like,
Probably our humble roots.
yeah.
Like
y'all
we began as the Remedy Review, literally just as being two out of work sound guys with some cameras and blowing our unemployment and early stimulus checks on what little gear we could muster to make better live streams than we were seeing our very talented friends making from their couch with their phones.
Right.
We just wanted to do better, and we knew they could do better.
Actually, I'm just getting the Facebook memories
Yeah.
popping back up of about this time last year, where it was us in the garage with our then roommate, vagabond, very good friend, Nathan Ignacio, who's been on the Remedy Review a couple of times. And we were just streaming out of the garage, right? And I hate to put her on blast, but Lakeisha Mundy was the reason why we got into it. She did a live stream from her phone, and the audio quality was so bad that we decided that we couldn't have that and started formulating better ways to stream.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Like, motivation's got to come somewhere, you know? And I bet you put on a dope show for her, huh?
We did.
Yeah, we did a couple
that was
now.
for Davis. Yeah, the tribute to the Davis Music Fest that we did back in June, which I guess touches in on the community stuff, but also some of the show runs, because like throwing a festival is not nearly as easy as it sounds, and it doesn't sound very easy to start with.
Put it in perspective.
Especially
Like,
a festival with no guests, no tickets, no vendors.
Yeah, how do
It's
you create
just the
appeal?
music. Yeah.
yeah, and how do you pay for that? That's the thing. Yeah.
Unemployment.
Yeah. Well, we had a Kickstarter that got funded for the actual Davis event. And it got funded like the second day in, right? That's when Jessica Malone hit.
Yeah.
But that was a whole squad. That was Yuppie Liberation Front, the Gold Souls, George Knapp, Jessica Malone, Late for the Train, Josh's band, Mundy, Wedo. Was that it? Was that who else were we?
I feel like we're still missing a couple. There was
Yeah.
like 11.
There's
Yeah.
9. Yeah, but quick counting, I'm probably bad at it. And whoever I'm missing, I'm sorry. You're very near and dear to my heart. I just can't remember it at 11 in the morning.
Did you say Happy Liberation Front twice?
I think just the once.
Okay.
Those are good homies, though. They've been back to the review like 4 times.
And then some, 4.5.
Yeah.
That particular band is really cool because it's like a collective. There's like 3 or 4 versions of the band. And it's not even like who can show up today. It's more like who's best for this gig, which I really enjoy the concept of that. It's a whole community of one band.
Totally. Well, so I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. This is what I'm getting here. You know what I mean? There's a lot of moving
All the time.
parts. Even like right now, I mean, you guys are switching cameras. You guys got how many cameras going on right now?
It's just the 2.
Okay.
But we could do some fancy stuff. Yeah.
I was gonna
love
say
me a
because you
split
guys were
screen.
cutting to the like behind the scenes like TV monitor, right? I mean,
Oh yeah, you want to see that? Yeah,
a
so that's our multi-view that's running across the room. We've got that sitting on a gimbal. Kate, you want to wave to the people?
yes.
Yeah, that's my lady Kate. But oh, you're looking at me. Yeah, this is weird. I'm watching it flip.
Oh hey, oh hey.
Right. But yeah, so we started with just cell phones and slowly started buying cameras and still use cell phones for our gimbals. Oh yeah, here we can get back into this. But this is kind of indicative of how the shows run, right? I do a lot of the video switching. Josh does a lot of the camera placements. He manages the gimbal, and I do audio all on this fancy APC40
Yo,
here,
the
and the
mothership,
fancy gimbal.
the mothership.
Yeah,
Hey,
which is neat. This is how I run my entirety of my audio and all my camera switching. So you should be able to get out of that gimbal back into it. And I don't know how much of this is just kind of showing off our fun little tech toys, but it does help out to make, you know, the stream super consistent and like interesting to watch.
yes. And you've done some, you've done some switching out of equipment. You've done some software stuff, like crazy visuals on top of what's visually, going on.
Oh,
It's
that's a lovely transition. We've got a clip here that we want to play. It's Mono Trio from Torch Club because we've been helping out the CCVC, which is like Torch Club, Harlow's,
shady.
Cafe
Cafe
Colonial,
Colonial. Thank you.
Crest.
And the Crest, while they were closed to stream from their venues, they opened up their house to us. And
Wow.
this is Sean Leahy and the Mono Trio at Torch Club.
Yeah, size that up a little. This is with our friend Bob Shep
Oh, yeah, hippie Bob.
doing Liquid Lights.
Yes. Partnership.
There's some good footage of Cliff going on the internet playing drums with one another.
This is honestly something of a super group. Sean Leahy is just a monster on guitar in a couple of groups around the Bay Area. And then Cliff Porter is actually from Reno from a group called Jelly Bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Dave Barry be crushing it. But hold on, there's a spot in here that I wanted to point out because we started working in on that software. And yeah, you're gonna start watching some parts jump around. Sean. Yeah, we're adding that in digitally on top of Bob's scale.
So we had a combination of physically manifested projection and digitally manifested projection.
Yeah. You got Sam going crazy on bass.
This is just one of probably 24 shows that we've done at the Torch Club now.
Yeah, there we go. There's my hearts.
There I see it. There I see it.
We're gonna go to Cliff's. They got the hearts. Yeah.
See, we're just adding a little bit of extra on top of Bob Shep's light show.
Yeah, and that's how much of that cut that I gave.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, so the shows have been super good. They're
Superman does good.
Yeah, Superman
You did
does
well.
good. We did well. So we have been doing well. Thank you, Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been working with the CCVC. The Harlow's really was the front line on that about getting together with NIVA, which is the National Independent Venue Association. And they were really instrumental in pushing for like the Save Our Stages Act and stuff like that. Because we really started as a way for musicians to keep gigging and to try to offset the fact that we weren't really going to get any help from the city, the state, whatever.
Yeah. It's crazy. And what was the you said the CCB. What does that stand for?
Oh, the CCVC is the
Sorry.
California Capital Venue Collective
Coalition.
That's what it is. Uh,
And
yeah,
they
and they're good folks. They're kind of, a venue association to make sure that they can have more collective bargaining power because unions are tight.
And there's also a lot of talk about gig routing. They're
Yeah.
going to start bringing all these traveling bands through towns and getting them through all the multiple different local venues in different areas.
Yo. So we got lights, or sorry, we got camera. We talked a little bit about lights. Is like, I mean, obviously, I mean that's a big thing. Like I heard the number one killer of really good cameras is bad lighting, and so like,
Technically, right now, we're operating under bad lighting.
Yeah.
right,
My ring light died last week. I need to invest in some better lighting gear myself. But like right now, we're on a ceiling fan. That's all.
Word.
And a gig bar.
word.
That's true. I have this.
Yeah.
Ain't that timing, huh?
Ooh, now we're red.
Yeah,
And now we have lasers.
warm. Okay.
Tight.
So and then so sound, you guys got full sound capabilities. I've seen you guys put on, I don't know, 8-piece bands before. How many programs do you have like overlaying just the audio?
Just really the two, I suppose, because I've got the Focusrite program that actually does the initial capture and also drives the monitors for the performers on stage. And then that's just getting routed into Ableton Live, where Alex does mixing and mastering magic, the likes of which most people would call us crazy for attempting, but it works really well.
Yeah.
And like that's not our first stab at like how to do the audio run, right? Pre-COVID and in the long ago in the before time, Josh was building this audio setup so that way he could go to different venues and offer recording services to bands, so that way they could get like a live EP or whatever kind of cut that they wanted. And when COVID hit, he had this whole movable mobile rack that we could use for exactly what we're doing for now, and
Barely fits in my car.
Right.
Shout out to Rap4.
Yeah. Thanks, Toyota.
Right, killing the game. But at first we were doing all sorts of weird stuff. We were going like out of the main mixer into another interface back into the program, and it was like 5 rounds of gain staging, and it sounded blown out everywhere. And
we learned a lot of hard lessons.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of time on Reddit, a lot of time just digging through the internet about like how do I whatever.
Yeah.
And the audio run got really clever with a couple of like virtual in outs and some nifty stuff, because I've been producing with Ableton for years, so I'm super familiar with the program. And switching it to a live capacity wasn't that much of a stretch.
Right. Man. Okay.
Realistically, it's what it's meant for, but for a DJ.
Yeah, 100%.
Just not a live band.
Well, and it's the MIDI functionality that makes it so useful.
And by MIDI, you mean like putting analog, all of these mics, all of this equipment, and putting it into a computer. That's what you mean by MIDI, right?
Musical instrument digital interface.
Yeah. So the actual MIDI capabilities of everything. Let me get that gimbal shot on this thing again.
Just for those that don't really know what that.
Yeah, so like the MIDI runs are like this stuff is all programmable and switched to different things that I can control. So like down here at the bottom, I've got all my sends, and for the audio folks at home, I just bunch a bunch of instruments together so that way I can work them together through all this. I think I've got this.
I'm getting double.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too.
Was the cell phone audio on?
Of course it is.
Phone is on.
Yeah, there we go.
And now it is gone.
And things like that happen in the live stream all the time.
Oh, you have to press go.
You press go.
There, it's better.
That is better, and that's also better. So yeah, there's always like some little ghost in the machine about like where audio is sitting. You don't ever want to be pulling from the cell phone audio. I think we're done with the MIDI shot, but yeah, we can program stuff into basically infinite. Anything that you would like to like map program, you can. Yeah, music technology.
I would say that we are making a really good farce of professional work with unprofessional tools.
Yeah, they've been refined.
We do what we can, and I obviously I have 4 really nice cameras now, and so I am working with really good hardware. But in the early days, with just a couple of phones and some $200 Canons that I picked up from Amazon or whatever, just the cheapest stuff we could get our hands on, just to get on the air and make it work. We made it work.
Right. And then, you adjust from there because the quality is crazy good. The quality
Now
is
it is.
super good.
Thanks.
Yeah, right. I mean, like I said, they've been refined. So you have all of these, live, you have all of these components that are normal to live settings. This is, a mobile setup is definitely next level, but now you're adding on streaming. So tell me about like that whole layer that you just put on top of this whole like tower that you guys got going on.
I mean, throwing a live event is hard enough, always. Wrangling a band together and dealing with 16 tracks of audio and making sure everything goes smoothly is enough. Add the need for a stable internet connection and an extra 45 minutes of testing and just general tinkering to make sure everything's going to go smoothly on the online end. It is a lot of extra work. Imagine taking a video studio and a live events venue and putting them together and somehow taking that online in real time.
Yeah.
It's like we're basically replicating television.
Yeah, broadcasting. It's a lot. It's a lot. How do you do it? I mean, obviously it's dividing and conquering. How do you guys divide that?
Oh,
I got to sing the praises of Restream.
yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
Restream.io is one of the coolest services. It, in addition to taking our signal, whatever we're streaming out, and distributing it wherever we please onto all of these different platforms. It'll go to Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, which is where we typically go, but also to custom places like Vimeo, or any other like embeddable private address, stuff like that. It has such stability. Like we send it whatever stream we can muster on site with whatever connection we've got. And it does a really good job of maintaining stability in the stream, which is something that's always a problem when you're going directly from whatever connection you're at to, say, Facebook. When you're going one to the other, there's always problems. But Restream is just this lovely third party that just handles it.
Yeah.
So we got really good at their settings, and now we don't have to worry about everybody else's settings. So I actually can't recommend that enough for anyone getting into streaming.
Totally. I mean, forgive me, I'm not very familiar with the likes of streaming, but is Restream kind of like the gold standard as far as streamers go?
No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like consumer-oriented stuff. They're obviously really shining inside of the pandemic.
It's for
and
gamers.
Yeah, it really is for gamers. And so much of the streaming tech was built around gamers from the top of it.
Yeah.
But that's why you saw like Twitch was this huge platform for gamers, but then DJs and musicians took over, and they've got a bunch of really crazy functionality and community building stuff that they try to work into their platform, which is useful, but we can't sit there and chat with folks on Twitch while we're working. We're doing too much stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one of the things that I do.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Chat with the people on Twitch.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
also make sure that the band can chat with the people on Twitch.
Yeah.
Exactly. Plug in the tips and
Well, and that's probably the coolest function about Restream is that it consolidates all the chats from everywhere. And that's the thing about like our live show versus like any of the post-production sort of live shows, which you see a lot of. I've done plenty of them, where it's like you go in and you record, and then at a later date, somebody else streams it onto their page, platform, website, whatever. But being able to have the chat in there, we can have the band interact with their fans in close enough to real time.
It's like 7 seconds.
Yeah, but that does make a little bit more of a problem for like the audio end, right? You don't have enough time, or you don't have any time to really go back in and double check your mix and do all that kind of stuff. Like you're mixing live. It just so happens to be on the internet forever. So don't mess up.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I don't. There's stuff that gets blown out all the time. And one of Josh's most important jobs is he leaves the venue and listens to the stream and is like, bro, that guitar is too loud.
Yeah.
And I always do it on data, not on whatever Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah, there you
Just
go.
like I want to check on the jankiest connection. I want to go hide in the corner and make sure that I hear it and make sure it doesn't lag.
Right.
And make sure that damn guitar isn't too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guitarist,
I
man.
feel like I've heard a couple things with like audio where it's like you just look for the crappiest speaker you can find, or the crappiest like, you know, output, and then if it sounds good there, I mean, you're good. Right? I mean,
Yeah, I go from the highest dollar studio monitors to like the crappiest Android phone
yeah,
and make sure that it sounds good in both levels.
exactly. On data, not Wi-Fi. It's technique. Um so okay, another layer. So we have this huge tower we're building, and now one more thing, like you're keeping everyone safe. You know, you guys' track record is pretty close. If
Zero
not,
reported COVID cases, better than the Trump administration White House.
I
I
mean,
mean-
other than like Frankenjam, where there was actually people I can't speak to because I don't know if they were contact tracing everybody that came. I think that we have had no incidents.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah. Zero COVID reported. The only folks that were talking about being sick were also like going to Elixir on the weekend. So I'm not actually willing to take responsibility for that.
And the only other one was Thanksgiving, which somebody went to a Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
dinner.
but that wasn't our event. That was somebody like going to their family's house for Thanksgiving and getting sick there because obviously.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we go through, we sanitize everything. All of our mics get sanitized. Our room gets sanitized. So
There are
everything-
2 UV HEPA air filters in here.
Yeah, the air filters was the big one because like COVID circulation and everything else, and that's how that works.
Exactly. Droplets.
We always keep masks and hand sanitizer and gloves by the door.
Yep.
There's
and-
also peroxide and for people to wipe their gear down, but no one ever does.
No. And then with the venues, we do contact tracing as well. So we go through all of our regular sanitation steps. All the venues are taking care of their stuff, but we also like collect emails and do all that stuff in case somebody does get sick. We can have something to do there, you know, do the contact tracing and be responsible about it.
Always names, dates, and emails.
Yep.
This person was here on this date, and if there's an incident, we let everybody know.
Boom.
Yeah. And there's a lot of different folks that stream and their comfortability levels with masks and stuff like that. But we've been really good about instituting our rules and making sure that they stay like, if you're in the venue, you need to be wearing a mask. If you're on like the stage with your band in your pod, not so much.
Right. Yeah.
We can't have trumpet players playing in a mask.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I think a really good thing that I see nowadays is people doing what they can to make people comfortable, to make people feel safe, and I've seen you guys do that time and time again, and I'm sure they appreciate it. I hope they appreciate it. Damn, like.
They appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no, we've gotten a lot of good feedback from everybody, and we've got a lot of excitement about what's happening next. And speaking of comfortability, is taking care of artists is going to be the Club Green Room move.
Yeah.
And how we're going to start generating content and filming shows moving forward, because we're moving to Placerville.
Oh,
And we're building the paywall.
Yeah.
the paywall.
The paywall.
What is?
I mean, every door at every venue, you have to pay $5 to walk through, or $10 or $20, depends on the show, depends on the venue. We're building a door. You have to pay $5 to walk through the door.
Totally. And it's virtual too. It's a virtual door as well.
Well, this is what I mean. We're
Yeah.
going to be charging tickets for the virtual content as well to support the bands that are performing in the virtual venue, as if they were packing a house.
Exactly.
As even in the beginning days of the Green Room Social Club, when we open on Main Street, Placerville, we're going to be having really limited capacity for a really long while, probably some months, and we're looking forward to trying to balance the revenue that we can raise for our performers in that space with virtual tickets. So it's all about, I suppose, educating people on the value of a virtual show.
Totally.
Which is something that most people haven't thought about before.
They're like,
a lot of people are just realizing that live streams are a thing.
Yeah.
At all.
And you guys have made some noise in Sacramento for sure. You guys, up until recently, right? You guys haven't been charging for shows. You just promote tipping, obviously, for the band. And
yeah, we didn't have a platform. And now if you go to clubgreenroom.com, you can find like all of the stuff that we had done for free is still up there. Those things are going to slowly get implemented into a like archived paywall. But it really did start off, as a way for musicians to keep on gigging. And I think that Josh and I had both heard from a lot of friends about, musicians that were going to get jobs at the cannabis packing plant or jobs on DoorDash, and they hadn't seen their drummer in 3 months. And it's just like, all right, y'all need something to do. Yeah. Or else when we get out of this, there's not going to be any bands that are functionally gigging left in Sacramento. And we, trying to switch that into the live capacity is still, it handles a lot of problems that I don't think a lot of musicians know that they have. It creates content. It, provides them with stuff. You could flood an Instagram page with just one show, right? Yeah. You can have your 15 songs that you can cut into 30-second clips. You can do whatever it is. If you need content generation, it's a really easy way to do that. And then still make some money off of selling some tickets.
Like a gig.
Like a gig.
Exactly.
Remember those?
Remember those?
I remember.
What we got going on?
Oh, just some cityscape in the background.
Yeah.
In the spirit of constant improvement, we are playing with some new pieces of gear today.
I see that. It's a good.
Actually, might have one of these in California.
That's crazy.
I don't know what you mean by one of these. I'm assuming it's a piece of shiny equipment.
Lots of buttons.
Yo.
This is my Black Magic Mini Extreme ISO. Lots of toys.
Yeah, really.
So I don't think I've seen anything to this level of production value. Is there anyone like you in Sacramento, in Northern California even?
Nope, but there is one in Portland.
Yeah. The PDX Couch Tour folks, Brian Strauss. Yeah. He's up in Portland. And like same time, right? Really started getting off the ground, and we had been in touch, kind of passing back and forth notes for a little bit, mostly Josh.
And he had some great quality, and we were literally trading techniques. And I was like, oh, what kind of phones are you using, and what kind of wireless? Like, you're doing such cool things with the wireless of the movement. He actually turned me on to these gimbals.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
Good guy.
Crazy with the gimbals.
But I guess to answer the question is like, no. Nothing else is really streaming in this capacity, which is how we got the Happies from San Francisco and Smokey the Groove.
There is Folsom TV, but Folsom TV was also already a camera-equipped broadcast station. They started as a broadcast business and kept broadcasting, and they were doing some concerts, and we were still doing better work than them.
All right, well, I was going to say that bit, but
and I think they might agree.
We had a good chance to work with them. They've got a fun setup, but there's something to be said about our system, and I think it's just a different way of technique.
Yeah.
I do like his in-ear monitor system as his stream audio. It is pretty smart.
Uh,
It works well.
Yeah.
it works.
Anyway,
But
Y'all are going crazy. Y'all are freaking wizards over here. Come on now.
I mean, it's pressing buttons and making sound, right? Like a lot of regular audio engineers would be able to do bits and pieces of all this, and it would only take so much time to learn it. Which is, one of the weird blessings about the pandemic, I guess, was that, people had time to learn some other stuff and really work on it. And, we weren't gigging. I play in the Gold Souls. I don't know if I said that. And Josh is in a couple of really cool bands, Late for the Train and Burning Daylight People.
bluegrass.
Yeah.
Mandolin.
With
And
nothing else to do, we had to stay busy. You can see all of our work on the YouTube and everything else.
Clubgreenroom.com.
Yeah, I think in between when we're recording this and when it's going to air, there's going to be a bunch of stuff at Harlow's, and I highly encourage everybody to go follow them on social media if you haven't, because they're kind of leading the charge as far as like Northern California NIVA associations and like what's happening inside of county restrictions for the Sacramento community. Because when we get up to Placerville, it's a whole new world, right? The different restrictions for different counties and everything else. So Sacramento is still going to be working through stuff.
We get to be a little bit ahead of that curve and kind of build a little bit of a design for a hybrid event, which hopefully will be able to bring down the hill when they're able to open to partial indoor audiences.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because that is the goal in Placerville, is to always have hybrid events, in-person audiences. You could think of it as a live studio audience.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The Remedy Review, filmed in front of a live studio audience. We need to get like one of those little
get an
neon
applause
signs that
sign.
says applause. Yeah. We should do it like wrestling, like the card people, the ringside card people.
Oh,
rather
yeah.
than just
Applause.
like yeah.
Laughter.
I'm here for that. If you let us keep going on this tangent, that's going to be the rest of the interview. No,
You're good. You're good. I just wanted to highlight some of the crazy achievements you guys have made. Besides just doing this, you've had multiple music festivals. Could you tell me a little bit about y'all's favorite shows or y'all's favorite achievements?
Frank and Jam.
Tell me,
I
you
still
guys
can't believe we
mentioned this
managed to
more
do
and
that.
more. What's Frank and Jam, or what happened there?
Halloween 2020. There were 5 bands. There were 2 floors. And the
What?
power went out upstairs.
That's not true. We blew up the breaker.
Oh, we blew up a breaker upstairs. So there was no lights. We did all of the upstairs bands in the dark.
What?
It was Halloween at least.
Yeah.
So that was good.
And we had a solid team. That was like the first thing that we did with Harlow's. And Jim, the owner of Harlow's, was super accommodating. He let us come in early. He let us test stuff out the week before. Julia Heath helped us get us super organized. Michael Baker was really good for getting a lot of the other like sponsors into that.
His band also got to play.
Yeah, Green Eyed Misfits, good stuff. And everything went wrong. Right? Yeah. Josh and I were at Harlow's the day before Halloween for something like 13 hours.
And everything was working.
No, not that day.
Well, no, then the morning of Halloween, everything was working and everything was perfect. And we were looking forward to a great event. And then the power went out.
Gremlins.
Oh, yo, they're real.
Yeah, 100%. And ask any live tech. Like, sure, you can plan as best as you can, but when it gets to downbeat, pray. And we were like throwing internet out of the upstairs of Starlit Room, down through a window back into Harlow's, so that way we could run the stream. We were running
an Ethernet cable.
Yeah, no, and then when something else went wrong, we ended up throwing audio out the same window. So we had a 200-foot XLR cable that was running the stream audio from Starlit up into or down into Harlow's.
That was not the plan.
No,
it
not
did
at
work
all.
though.
It did work.
So 5 bands, 4 hours, and we capped off the night with the Brothers Comatose.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite bands. So that was a really great opportunity.
What was my favorite show? It might be that Mono Trio clip that we just did, or Love
Boca.
Mischief at Harlow's.
Boca.
Boca was good.
Boca de Rio.
I'm really digging the Harlow shows. I really like shooting on that stage.
Show 'em Boca.
Oh yeah, we have Boca. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna shut up and we're gonna listen to more music.
Yeah.
So the other great venue that we've had an opportunity to play at or stream at, I still have never played at Harlow's. But we do love taking over
it
Harlow's.
Auto jumped because I scaled it. That's rude. So those of you with knowledge of the scene and some observant eyes, you'll see that that's Big Sticky Mess being the rhythm section for Boca de Rio.
Yeah.
Local funk band driving a Brazilian space dance Afrobeat funk band. Yes. We do love Boca de Rio.
Kevin's such a sweetheart.
Save me from this misery, yeah. Ooh, save me.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Killer plug.
Very
So
nice.
yeah, that's Boca, that's Harlow's, and they're just coming together really well. I think they're sounding great. We're really hitting a good stride with how we communicate with cameras and everything else.
Oh, we've never had comms. We've never actually run radios except for Frank and Jam.
Yeah, we stare at each other and telepathically yell at each other because we can't be loud because there are so many mics on the stage. And honorable mention, we also, Chris Harrelson and Dennis Scott have come around and take photos and let us use their cameras. And we try to telepathically yell at them too, and it doesn't work out quite as well. But
They got some firewall.
Actually, that's Dennis Scott's camera. Thanks, Dennis.
Nice. Thanks, Dennis.
That's dope. We got visuals also from Hippie Bob.
Hippie Bob.
Shout out to
Yeah, Hippie Bob. I think maybe the Love Mischief show.
That was pretty good.
I think any of the Love Mischief shows, they really let me get weird, and Brian Curtin's just like the sweetest guitar god.
And that was another Hippie Bob show.
Yeah, go follow Love Mischief. Actually, the Friday Funk chunk is worth it alone.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
The Friday Funk Chunk, they just have like
Friday Funk chunk by Love Mischief is the best thing to happen to the United States of America since Herbie Hancock.
Is this
here first?
Is this an album? Is this a live stream? What's
Oh, it's just some little clips that they be putting on the internet on Fridays.
And it's all distanced, home recordings cobbled together, Brady Bunch style.
One of them's in Boston. I think the key player's in Boston.
He's still at Berkeley.
Yeah.
Yo.
We actually have a lot of Berkeley cats in Sacramento.
A lot of Berkeley folks in Sacramento.
And
that's Berkeley College of Music, not Berkeley, California.
Yeah.
Right.
But, yeah.
You know, it's just East Coast to me. Like
it's all New England.
It's just over there. Where can people find you? So it's clubgreenroom.com. We got Remedy Review on Facebook, YouTube, and
the YouTube changed. The YouTube is Club Green Room.
Nice.
Or Green Room Social Club.
It's the Green Room Social Club.
Yeah, the Green Room Social Club.
They won't let me make a cute little short link until I have 1,000 people. So go subscribe.
Lame. All right. So anybody watching here, students at Sac State, go follow that. So yeah, Remedy Review on Instagram, Club Green Rooms on Instagram, the Green Room Social Club on YouTube. We've got 2 pages on Facebook. One is the Remedy Review, one is Club Green Room. There's a street team you can see if you want to join.
That's brand new.
Yeah, it's in the works. You'll get some cool stuff for sharing.
free virtual
Yeah.
concert tickets, and I mean, I'll buy you beer if you help us out with grassroots promotion just by sharing events and adding to your story and maybe giving a little testimony if you had a good time at a show, something like that.
Hey.
Yeah, so we're still working. Bunch of stuff. Follow Harlow's, follow Torch Club. Torch Club's probably going to be the closest to when this interview airs and what shows are happening. It's going to be the Nickel Slots.
Oh,
And that's
Nickel
gonna be the
Slots
7th
and
of
Red Dirt
May.
Ruckus.
And Red Dirt Ruckus. Yeah. Those guys have been helping us out super tough with the website.
Oh, and there's a rumor I might get the Neighbors for Mother's Day, May 9th.
The Neighbors.
The Neighbors.
All right, we're gonna
We
keep
shall
that
not
one a
name them
secret
just
for
in
the
case.
stream, but the Neighbors are very cool.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when
So yeah, that's where you can find us. I'm on Instagram. Never mind. Just don't follow my Instagram. Don't talk to me. But Felt Flamingo Music, you can follow that. That's what I've been doing for the quarantine stuff when we're not working 80 hours a week on this.
yes.
I'm always working 80 hours a week on this.
Yeah,
always.
I know.
Before they put their price wall, check out their pre-recordeds, their archive. It's amazing. One of my favorite shows was oh my gosh, I'm gonna mess up. It was
Is it Element?
Element was awesome. And there was a term that I had never heard before. It was coronavirusness.
Yeah.
Byron was like, we've been stuck in a year with all this COVID virusness and we're ready to play. And he just went in and it was just like I was busted up. No, it
And
was
of course, it's Element.
that blues rock band.
That's
Shoe Fly
Shoe
Complex.
Fly Complex with
went
yeah, crushed it.
in. And y'all had
Yeah,
the
well-
visuals. You had visuals up top. You had
Mhm.
visuals on the. Tell
Yeah,
about
Johnny Mojo is a super charismatic front person and just like the sweetest dude.
Exactly.
Jonathan Stoyanov is a beast. There's no other way around it. That guy's jazz chops are insane.
He's the Remedy Review's favorite bassist.
yes.
He's been here like
Yeah.
12 times.
Yeah, he's definitely played. It's like him and David McKissick have played the most Remedy Review shows, and it's like 12, 13 is what
Oh,
we're
yeah.
getting to. Well, no, because John just subbed in for who was the surprise one where we weren't gonna. Who did John just play? Oh, Mindex for
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
We were over at the Torch Club, and John showed up picking up a Mindex.
That was
dude.
probably Stream 13, Lucky 13 on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. Yo.
But you know, we've been super lucky. There's a wild amount of talent in Northern California and Sacramento specifically, and so we've just been pulling our homies and you know people that approach us that are you know have the juice,
Yes.
and we've been making sure that it gets served cold.
Yeah.
I really sank into that juice metaphor. But yeah, come find us on social media. I'm getting pretty hungry here, Noah.
You should have like we served the juice with ice.
Yeah, with ice.
Yes.
No, but for real, abolish ice.
I digress.
Yeah, and
Oh,
we
we
can
all
digress
digress.
further,
Yes.
but we don't need to do that for Sac State.
Right.
And shout out to the UNiQUE program, man. You guys keep finding us some pretty tight folks to, you know, be streaming. We've got Miggy coming up.
Yo,
Yeah.
Keith Haring. I'm excited for that.
Tight.
I'm excited.
And yeah, there's
And
been-
Denora was a pleasure.
Oh my God, Denora was so good.
Tell me
That
about
was so much fun.
real quick. Like she just sounds like a very just like emulate. Like she just radiates
Yes.
positivity.
Animated,
Mhm.
very energetic. Yeah.
She's on her stuff too,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Like she knows how to take care of business, right?
Yeah. Her band was a little bit less so.
Right.
I didn't feel that.
I
I
think they were
just
probably
got
just rusty.
like 9 emails after the fact
Yeah.
about like getting to the Dropbox link, which was pretty funny.
she got it right away. She
Yeah,
was
no.
immediately like,
Well,
that
and
stuff.
there's so much like Joe Craven is a good
Oh,
example
Joe
of this, of musicians that are super established in the scene and in their way that they do stuff, right? Like, and Joe Craven's got festival gigs lined up all the time, and that's like how he's played music for 55 years or some nonsense. And like now it's, hey, you need to do this in front of a camera with no people around, and watching how musicians have to transition into that
Yes.
is a whole different kind of problems, and like really requires a lot of being comfortable and finding a way to do that.
Yes. There's two instances where I was so just blown away at the level of it. One was Mr. Hooper that we had
Yeah.
for Sex
That was
Ed.
fun.
That guy can work a room. There was one time we had like 2 or 3 people, and he made it as live as if, and I'm talking about in person, way back. He made it live as hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Denora was really good with the virtual format. Another one that
Mhm.
surprised me is, do you guys remember Natea Rule? We had her for a nooner.
Yeah, she did great.
Yeah,
She
it was one of the first.
killed it.
Mhm.
And she had never done a live stream before, and it's just like, it's crazy the amount of adjustability that you guys and all these musicians have shown. It's awesome.
Mhm. Some bands, it takes 5 or 6 songs before they get comfortable and start
Yeah.
playing as if there was a crowd, and they start seeing the chat fill up, and they're like, "Oh, this is actually happening."
Right.
And
It's
some
worth-
bands are just right in.
Yes. Well, I feel that's it for me. Is there anything else you guys have to share to the lovely people of Sacramento?
Sign up at clubgreenroom.com. We're going to
Yeah.
have all kinds of fun stuff, whether you want to drive to Placerville or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's stuff on the line or on the internet. Come find us and we'll jam.
Hell yeah. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
thanks so much, Noah.
Doubly so to all musicians that ever watch this. We have something for you somewhere. Reach out.
There's proof. All right, you guys. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. That's it for me. Sex Day Unique. Sex Day Unique. Remedy review. Sex Day Unique. Remedy review.